everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Thursday, February the 25th. My name is Barry Anderson. I am the moderator of our free trading room. This is the address to get into our free trading room. Did I tell you that it was free? I share my screen all day long, and I'm live on the mic between 9 and 4 p.m. And you don't have to be a Trade Ideas subscriber. You can come in as a guest, so please do. And if you're looking to get a subscription to Trade Ideas, the various plans that we have, this is the address to use. And if you're a guest in the room and you like what we're doing, click on this, use this link please, because it does help the room and keep it free. All right, well, another fabulous day in the room. What can we say? This option play window is just producing, it's actually producing so many, I can't keep track of them all, and it's impossible for me to do them all. I know a lot in the room, they take a look at them, and some take some take others. I did take a couple off them that worked extremely well, but I could almost just take my pick. And again, it's because most of these, I don't think CAR is as an example, but most of them are because they have earnings. So I know I harp on the fact that once the earnings plays start drawing up, I don't think we'll have the same sort of activity from this particular window, but you never know. I mean, we'll get activity because option spikes are due to news of some sort, and typically it's going to be around earnings. But if a company has news of another nature, usually there's going to be an option spike, and that's when we're terrifically alerted to all those in this room. So let me show you what I did. And again, it's impossible for me to, in this particular video, it would take way too long to go over all the trades. Just so you know, though, these are all trades that I talk about live and post live in the room. So these are not after the fact trades or anything like that. And I'm just trying to get a chart up here. Here we go. Okay, so the first one was TS, Tenaris. And this was I think this was a short play, 1980. Yes, this was a short play. Notice it has popped back up, but originally this was a short play, and Tenaris was alerted to me at 1998. And I gave it a brief pause, and actually this is a quick trade for me. I don't generally trade in the first 15 minutes, but you notice that the trade came in at 9:36, so I watched it just briefly to make sure that it didn't pop too much over 19, or over 20. It didn't. So I ended up taking the trade at right here. Sorry, 1989 I took the trade. This is a short trade. So I'll just put a mark right there. Just took the trade right here. I'm in and out on this candle. Now, unfortunately, I did not get out right at well, not unfortunately. I mean, I got out at, let's see, 2 stages. I got out some at 1974. I tend to do that because it moved down so quickly. I was afraid, especially in the first 15 minutes, I was afraid that it would whip back up. So I wanted to lock in some profit. So I took some out right around here at actually 1974. I took some out at 1956. So it was on this candle here, the second candle, 1956. And then as it moved back up, I took some out at 1960. And that was it. Quick trade. Just worked out really well. But, got to say, the trade for me, and I know a lot in the room, I actually did a survey of the room, and about 35% of the people in the room actually took this trade, which was great. I love to see that. And so serve also came from the option window. Let me just try to find it. There it was. 3738 was the initial trigger. 3738. So 3738 was right about here, all right? So I watch it go up a bit, and then it started to come down. So typically what I do when it comes down near a whole number is I watch a bit to see if it's going to hold that whole number. Now you see the first time it got down to 36.94, but I was just waiting. I wanted to wait a bit, and look what happened on the next candle. It got back up to 37.24, but the sellers took it right back down to 37, and then so on the second break of 37, I took the short and I got in at 36.97, 36.97. Look at this next candle. Beautiful. Took some out at 36.67, right about here. Okay. And then I kind of blew it. I always try to psychologically get $1 on a trade, and you know, it got all the way down to 35.61, and I just didn't get out in time, and I exited actually as it came all the way back. I was waiting here. That's right. I was kind of waiting here to see if it might break down through 36 again. It just didn't do that, so I exited the trade, the second part, at 36.13. Now it did later on, but you know, by that time now it's kind of choppy and all that. But this is just a great trade. Very quick. I have to understand okay, these are 15-minute candles, so these are very quick trades. Typically what I'm seeing in this option window is that once it starts to move, it really moves. And I think that serve, let me make sure, I think that serve is it's an earnings play. Earnings were this morning before the market opened. So again, this is why we're seeing this wonderful volatility. Now, I had some other trades, but you know what? I'm just going to stop it right here. I just do want to talk a little bit about our new feature, though, the limit alerts. You do need a subscription, the one-time license fee to our AI channel, also the the RBI and the GBI. I am going to go over this a lot more. These are starting to give me some really nice trades. Just so you know what this is, let me just back this out so I can. Let's see, is this fairly recent? 204, yes. So let me get Rice up here. And this is on a 5-minute. So this is what this is. This is what the pattern is looking for. It's looking for what we call an RBI, red bar ignored. So what has to happen for me to get this alert? And I'm not saying that, you know, I took this or anything like that, but because I do want to add some other filters in eventually. But what we're being alerted to is a pattern. And the pattern is this: a stock with a trend up, and then this green bar, red bar, green bar. Now, we're getting the alert now. We used to have this configuration. We used to get the alert, and we would get the alert at 9:21, right at the top of this bar, all right? But we'd have to wait for this green candle to completely form. So on a 5-minute, it would have to be after this had formed. If this was still above this red candle, then we would get the alert. Now we have the option to get the alert as the green bar is forming, and we'll get the alert immediately. Now, why that's important is that imagine if this green bar, you know, was very wide and it just kept going and going and going. You know, can't even see it off this chart. But imagine, you know, it's 9:21. Imagine if this green bar went all the way up to 9:50, and then you'd get the alert. The alert would say 9:21. Obviously, too late. So we do now have the option. We have the two ways of doing it. We can get the absolute confirmation if that's what you want, or we can get the trigger right when it goes above the bar. Now, as I said in the room, it's sort of a double-edged sword, because of course this is a green bar now, and it did form as a green bar. And it would be a green bar right here as it gets above this candle, but there's no guarantee that it would remain one, you know, over 5 minutes. It could have just reversed, and then it could go down. So you understand what I'm saying. You can get the alert right there, and it looks like it's a green bar, but then it could reverse. But at least it's giving you the opportunity, especially if this looks like it's moving fast, the trend's good, maybe it's an earnings play, you know, the market's going up, right sector, like a whole bunch of things. So that's why it's great to be alerted when this happens, and not just, you know, have to wait for this bar to close. So that's a brief explanation of what the RBI, that this is an RBI, red bar ignored. And of course we have the reverse for green bar ignored. When a stock is going down, buyers look like they're trying to bring it back up, and then the trend continues down. So this is a very exciting alert, and you can only get it, of course, if you have a subscription, or you have the one-time license fee for the AI channel, Holly. Our new limit alerts are excellent. this is how they work. Very, very simple. So here, imagine if I wanted to say, I'm looking at this chart right now, saying, you know what, I want to know when this goes above 3680. So you just basically you just move your pointer on the screen. You see the dotted line. Just position it wherever you want the price. So say 3683. I right click on the chart. I create the limited alert. I just save it. I could put a little note in if I want to, but right now I just save it. And what happened? Maybe I didn't save it. Just a second here. Create the limit alert. There we go. So once I create the limit alert, you see this orange dotted line appears on the chart. And if and when the price would go through that, this orange line, first of all, you'd get an alert. It gets added into, just one second. All right, sorry about that. I'm going to have to do it again because when I brought this, in fact, I hope it doesn't happen again. No, okay, the chart disappeared. So I'll do this again. I'll say I want to have an alert if it moves down below. This is a CHGG. So let's say I want to have an alert if it moves down below 4, and I'll put the alert right here. It's something when I'm doing this webinar or this, it's not taking it the first time for some reason. Believe me, it takes it the first time. So there it is. So you see this orange dotted line. So if the price goes down below here, that at, what is it, 398, and we can now see, just bear with me a second here. Hopefully I don't lose it. Okay, so you see this is the limit alert window where all your alerts are, and you see how this was added right here. Actually added, it did add twice. I don't know why we didn't see the dotted line for it the first time, but that's why you see it twice. But this would be your limit alert window. So all the alerts that you create will all go into this window, and it'll tell you. Triggered means that, if this had gone down below 398, then it would have said triggered. Working means that it still hasn't triggered, it's still working. Some alerts, of course, this is saying from above because, the price is above the alert. So this is telling me that I'm looking maybe as a short possibility. From below means that, the price is perhaps down here, and I want to trigger up here. But this is just it'll be a wonderful way in which you can go through lots and lots of charts. It doesn't even have to be, within Trade Ideas. You can just, well, obviously you have to have the chart within Trade Ideas, but you can get ideas from any source you want. We'd hope you use Trade Ideas to get your information. But what I'm saying is that you can look at all sorts of charts, place your alerts, and then just forget about them. And if they trigger, it's great. If they don't trigger, they're there literally forever until you say, delete these alerts. But it's a wonderful way to plan. How many times have we looked at stocks and we say, I really want to know when it goes up to that point. Now I know that that price. I know that in brokerage platforms and in a lot of charting programs, of course you can do the same thing. I think the difference here, though, number one, it is super easy to do it on the chart. You now have a great way to organize all your alerts. And then the other thing that you can do is that if you are a Trade Ideas subscriber and you have the limit alerts, we have a feature where we can just save and share, and we can now share this particular alert in this window. I can share to the world if I want. I can send out a blast email, or I just put it in our trading room, and they can see what I've done. And generally speaking, if I'm going to share something, I'll probably put a note in it, and so that people understand what I'm looking for. And then it gets added to their particular alerts. And, if it triggers, not just for me now, it'll trigger for them also. So it's a wonderful way for us to collaborate within the room and share alerts. And, I would only say, of course, is that make sure that they're pretty good. Obviously, you don't want just put a whole bunch of alerts on charts and send them out. I have to have some thought about, well, why am I putting an alert here? And why would I want to share that? So anyway, this is just we just basically released this yesterday. So I think this is a terrific add-on for anybody who's serious about trading and wanting to keep track of all sorts of different stocks and be alerted at different times. You know, this may never get alerted, but maybe it gets alerted a month from now. And I'm not saying I necessarily want to see this. I actually have an alert at the high 418. I want to see if it ever breaks that high because there's a nice void above it if it does. And it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen in a week. But if it maintained this pattern for a while and then all of a sudden it broke through, it'd be great. What if it's 2 weeks from now? I guarantee I would just not remember it. Unless I had a way of organizing all of my alerts. So anyway, great things are coming with the alerts. So we're going to add more features. And as I say, we've got this wonderful RBI and GBI also to offer that we're going to be doing. And if you're looking for a subscription to Trade Ideas, this is the address to use. Just type this in and take you right to a subscription page, and you'll get a discount off either the first month or the year or the full package with everything in it. All right, thanks very much for listening. Again, here's the address to get into our room. I'm live, say 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and I do share my screen and post my trades, and there are other great traders in our room too. So thanks for listening, and hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.